Mike Martin. Mike, I appreciate you coming on the show and talking with us for a little bit. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, man. Here in beautiful Detroit, Michigan, sun is shining, life is good.
Yeah, that's what's up. For everybody who doesn't know, Mike Martin, he played at the University of Michigan, and then he was drafted by the Tennessee Titans. He's been in the NFL for 6 seasons now. Mike, can you tell the people a little bit about your journey?
Man, so born and raised here in Detroit and grew up a Michigan fan my entire life, but I went through my high school, my whole high school career, and then once my junior year rolled around, all the colleges started to come about with the offers and everything from, Notre Dame to USC, Texas, all the top schools around the country. But at the end of the day, Michigan was in my heart. I grew up watching Lloyd Carr, Desmond Howard, and Chad Henneman, all these guys. And so I knew where I was going, but I took the ride a little bit, went on a couple visits, and enjoyed the wining and dining and things like that. And had a good career at Michigan, not as good as you want. I mean, when do you ever have as good as you want? You want to win a natty every single year.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, and then went to Tennessee, was drafted in the 3rd round. Loved Nashville. I was there for 4 seasons, and then I went to the Philadelphia Eagles last year. I was there with a good friend of mine, Brandon Graham, who was drafted in the 1st round there. He's been there his whole career. But, so that's where I'm at. I had a knee surgery, and now I'm just getting healthy and working through that situation. So.
Cool. Can you take us back to your high school days? You said recruiting didn't really pick up until your junior year. What was your thought process going into your junior year? You knew you had to separate yourself to achieve your goals. You're from Detroit. Going to Michigan is a huge deal. What did you do to set yourself up to make sure you were able to get that scholarship?
So my mindset, it began when I knew I was going to the NFL in my mind when I was in 5th grade. I told a guy, his name's Dominic Raiola. He played center for the Detroit Lions for 15-plus seasons. But he actually came to my middle school when I was in 6th grade, and I told him I'm going to the NFL. And he's like, all right, man. And then fast forward to my rookie year, I played against him in the Lions in Tennessee, and we ended up beating the Titans. He caught a ball going into overtime, and we ended up winning the game. I had 2 TFLs, a sack on Matthew Stafford, man, but it was awesome. But to rewind, it began with my mindset, and I always knew that the offers and the colleges would come if I would just go to work every day, go to practice, do what I got to do. First one there, last one to leave. I was always a leader amongst my peers and the way that I worked and, what I preached. I walked the walk, I talked the talk, and they saw that. And everyone else, the coaches, they saw that through my tape. And then once they meet me, it was a done deal. I mean, I'm a great guy. I've never been in trouble. And I talk to kids all the time, and I say, with this environment that we live in, everyone is watching you, and you're naive and ignorant if you think that they're not. So don't post things on social media and on Face and on all these different outlets thinking that someone's not watching it. I say, if your grandmother or your mom wouldn't be proud for you to see that, then don't post it.
Exactly.
Try to be cool out here because the coaches are watching that, and recruit, they look at everything.
Exactly.
So when I separated myself by my work ethic, obviously the way I played, but in today's day and age, your character is a huge factor, and because there's a lot of guys that can play, but if you can play and you get on the team and you're causing troubles and you get kicked off, it's not worth it to them. So
exactly. Yeah. And as far as, let's talk about your play on the field. What did you do? What did you know that you had to perfect? Was it your hands, your feet, or what did you really do to really perfect your skill set that coaches always said, hey, Mike, that's what we love?
Yeah. So I would work this drill with, now he's the athletic director at my high school. His name is Aaron Babbage. We would go into the small gym, and I'd tape up this white box, and I'd get my stance, and I would just shoot my hands. And it would take 20 minutes a day after practice, but I do it every single day. I strike my hands as fast as I could because my quickness I knew was something that was I had, and if I could strike my hands on the offensive lineman before he could strike his hands on me, I'm gonna win. He's not gonna be able to block me.
Exactly.
So that's what I work every day, and I tell kids, like, you gotta do the small things that are gonna get you over that hump because, a lot of guys wake up early and go to the gym. A lot of guys work hard in practice. A lot of people do a lot of the same things, but to separate yourself, you got to do what other people aren't willing to do.
Mm-hmm.
So do that. And with my fast hands came my fast feet, and it all works in unison. But and then obviously if a guy can't block you, you get into the ball a lot. So
exactly, yeah.
You're having a party in the backfield.
And when you get in there, you're causing destruction.
Oh, yeah. Disruption all day.
That's what's up, man. So all you guys heard it from Mike himself, do the little things different. Do the little things to separate yourself. Do something different, be different. Mm-hmm. So when you got to the University of Michigan, one of the coaches was quoted saying, like, you're a workout warrior, you're a workout freak. Where did that workout ethic in the weight room come from? How did you attain that?
Man, I mean, I almost want to say like I was born with that, but my work ethic and really the environment that I grew up in is the reason why it's in my DNA. I mean, the neighborhood that I grew up in wasn't the best neighborhood. My family wasn't rich. We did, middle class, blue collar, working family. But I always wanted more for myself, and my mom especially wanted the best for me. So, whatever I could do to get better, I would do it. So, working out, I knew that if I would work out longer than this guy and harder, I would play better. And if I watched a little bit more film, I would play better. If I did this, so it wasn't hard for me because to me, it's like, man, this is easy. If I just do more than everybody else, then they're gonna see me. I'm about to get this money. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Especially being in the trenches, huh?
Oh man, yeah. Guys get lazy, man. Offensive defensive linemen play lazy, and if you got that high motor like me, you talk to coaches, they say my motor was always running. I was always running to the ball, like a crazed dog. You know what I mean? Like that's the flip. I would flip that switch. You couldn't stop me on that field, and I would have that attitude. I tell guys before you put your hand in that dirt, almost, hey, if you even want to say it, like, boy, you about to have a long day with me today.
Exactly,
like,
exactly.
First snap, like, just hit them. I would tell guys some games I wouldn't even run the defense. I would just try to hit that guy across from me as hard as I could, and he was thinking about that for the rest of the game.
Well, it's the mind games that people don't understand with football, man. You can really mess someone up like that,
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And also for you guys who don't know, Mike still holds most of the strength and conditioning records at the University of Michigan. Mike, can you tell us about some of the records that you still hold? I know I got to make you toot your own horn, man.
Yeah, man. So my strength coach, his name is Mike Barwis. He was with me at Michigan. This guy, he was all about explosive movements, plyometrics, and we did a lot of Olympic lifts. So power cleaning, snatch, jerks, squatting. And my first time, because I wasn't good at everything when I first did it. It's a learning curve. Yeah. I couldn't figure out how to power clean for the life of me. It's the way you got to bring your hips through, and that's all like tackling and power comes from your hips. And I'm trying to do 225, which isn't a lot of weight, and I couldn't really figure it out. And I got so pissed off, I took a 45-pound plate and I threw it across the weight room like Frisbee style, right?
Yeah.
And I'm getting all upset, and my coach is like, "Yeah, I love that energy." He's like, "Now take it and lift the weight." So I did that, and then by the time of my senior year, I was power cleaning, 415, squatting. My heaviest squat was 810. But that was when I was 17, man. I could do that and go practice. I'm 27. I still do it hard, but now you got to think functional and when you're young, man, you gotta push it because you got to get there. You
just got to be hungry, and that's what we try to tell the guys. You got to be hungry for it because there's always someone out there trying to take your spot or trying to take what you have.
Every day. You never stay the same. You either get better or you get worse. So make a decision. Are you going to do things that are going to make you a better guy when you lay down in that bed that night, or are you going to get worse? Because to stay consistent or get better, you got to do those things. You can't just be doing the same thing expecting a different outcome.
Exactly. And can you talk a little bit about the Olympic lifts? Because here in Europe, guys aren't too familiar about the explosiveness that you really need to have to play college football or play at that next level. The power cleans, the hang cleans, the front squats, the back squats, the plyometrics.
Yeah. So I'm telling you, explosiveness and body control is the single most important thing in any sport. I mean, I was a 2-time state champion, All-American wrestler. I did shot put and discus. I was a 2-time, 4-time, because 2 in each, All-American in those, and then football, obviously. But in each one of those sports, you have to know how to control your body in that position. Football, being in your stance, and then tackling guys, or as a wide receiver, getting in your set and knowing how to get off of a DB and get open. Quarterback, everything. Controlling your body in that position, and then being able to deliver force from whatever position that you're in. So it's explosiveness, man, being able to move weight and snap quick, because any big bodybuilder guys, you see these guys, world's strongest man on TV, them guys last 3 plays on a football field. Some guys are full of muscle, they're strong, but they're slow twitch strong. They're not fast twitch strong.
Exactly.
So you got to work on fast twitch. I don't care if you can bench 800 pounds. If you can't do it explosively and 100 times in a row, it doesn't matter. Yeah. I mean, it's good on paper, but what does it really mean? So one of the most successful guys, his name is Derek Morgan. He plays defensive end right now for the Tennessee Titans. I think right now to this point he has 4 sacks in the season so far, but this guy is not very strong, but this guy is the most explosive dude you'll ever see, man. He can jump through the roof, and he's super flexible. Flexibility and explosiveness is so important.
There we go. Flexibility, explosiveness. So, guys, make sure you're out there doing your explosive lifts. Make sure you're stretching before and after, and just tearing it up in a weight room. And remember, someone's out there always coming after you. So, growing up in Detroit, you had a great opportunity to work with Legacy, the Legacy Center, our partners that are in Detroit. So, can you tell us a little bit about your work that you're doing with them now that you're coming to the end of your playing career? Yeah.
So the way that I align myself with Legacy is the people that are involved there. That's what it is, because facilities are facilities, but the people that make up that program are top of the line. Justin Sasante, who is a great friend of mine. He was actually my coach when I was back in high school. So we go way back, and we just continued our friendship. And he runs that whole program over there, and he knows what's important to me. Since I've been in the league, I started a youth camp to give back to kids who don't have opportunities that even I didn't have either. So for me to be able to offer that, and Justin and Rodney Goebel over at Legacy, they facilitate and just give me the platform even more so to be able to do what I'm already do, and do it on a bigger, grander scale. So it's very exciting. We just finished up our 3rd year of my youth camp, and I also do camps with them at Legacy. And it's just, they just have a great staff, and it's fun. And they emphasize teaching these kids the technique they need to know, because it's just so important with staying healthy, with knowing your technique, and also the requirements it takes academically to even have the chance to get to college, because it's changed since I was in high school. You can't come in freshman year and mess up on your grades, because then you won't be able to catch up and have the right GPA and the right, academic requirements to get a scholarship.
Exactly.
So you can't just think football. Like I tell these guys, football is going to end at some point for all of us. And it's a blessing that we all get the chance to play this great game. Yeah. But you have to push it as much as you do on the field in the classroom, because it goes hand in hand.
Exactly. Were you actually a member of when they went on the college tour when you were in high school? Or did they start that later?
No, I was not. They were starting that up. And for me, the first big shine that I got with recruiting and everything, I went to Nike's football camp, and they had it at Penn State. And then I went to Michigan's. And another story I like to tell guys is, you can't just work hard and expect things to work out.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of guys work hard. I say this like, man, I work hard and I'm just not, not seeing the results I want to see, whether it be in school, football, business. You have to not only work hard, but make people see you. Yeah. So I like to say scrappy. You got to be scrappy out there. Mm-hmm. So when I came to Michigan's camp, I wasn't on their radar. I was in this group that was on the other side of the field, and Coach Carr, who was the head coach at Michigan, and Coach English was the defensive coordinator. They were at the other side watching all the top recruits, And in my mind, I know where I need to be. I need to be over there.
Exactly.
But I wasn't. So I say, to myself, how the heck do I get over there? I tell this guy, I need to be over there. He's like, all right, man. So I'm whooping everybody I go against in my group. These guys are, not on my level. Boom, just pass rushing, putting guys on their back, one-arming guys, just toying with them. He says to a guy at the other group, we got to bring this guy over, man. He's killing it. So I go over there. As soon as I get over there, Coach English and Coach Carr were standing in the back. So I'm like, all right, before they walk away, I need to make sure they see me. So I pointed to the offensive lineman. I said, which one of y'all got me up first? Come on. And they had a line of guys. You got to wait in line to go for your turn.
Yeah.
I got the line. I'm going. Because everybody's scared. Nobody really want to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm going. They're like, oh, hold on. I'm like, no, come on, let's go. I'm like, come on. So I go against this guy. I put him on his back. I go power. And then the next guy, I put a little quick move on him because he thought I was just, a strong dude. So I put a little, had him crossed up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Put him on his back. And then I went a third time. And I looked down at him, and then I looked up at Coach English and Coach Carr, and I just shook my head and I walked back. And I said, yeah, they saw me.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's why we do the college tour with Legacy, because we want to get guys out here from Europe, the exposure, just like the story you tell, because that's the ultimate goal, to have one of our European guys, one of our international guys telling the same exact story that you just told, how they traveled with us in Legacy on the college tour and made a name for themselves.
Yep. I got my scholarship that afternoon, man. Coach Carr pulled up next to me in his golf cart. He said, what's your name, son? Hey, my name's like, you look good out there. I like to come up and have lunch at Schembechler Hall. And then he gave me my scholarship that afternoon.
That's awesome, man. That's really awesome. Yeah, man. Mike, I appreciate it. Taking the time to talk with us. Is there anything else you want to tell these international prospects?
Man, I will say to you guys that anything is possible. If you make a decision that you want to get to a certain place, it can be done. And I've seen a lot more crazy stuff happen in this world. So if you have a vision for yourself and you take actionable steps towards that vision, and you do not let anybody deny you of that, it will happen. I promise you. So just, every day, man, just write down short-term goals, long-term goals, and do everything you can to get there, and surround yourself with people that are going to help you get there and facilitate to get you there. Like yourself, man. I know you guys are doing great things over there, providing opportunities. So just keep doing what you're doing, man.
Appreciate it, Mike.
No doubt, man. It's been a pleasure.
Take care.